I've had homemade Pop-Tarts on my list of things that I would like to try out for such a long time, and that is exactly what I'm bringing to you guys today. I've got 1 savory and 2 sweet ones, so 3 Pop-Tart recipes total. They are all pretty simple and definitely really yummy. All right, we are gonna start off with the savory Pop-Tart. I do have 2 sweet ones that I'm going to be making, but this one is for taco Pop-Tarts. I'm making it for the family for lunch today. So I've got 1 pound of ground beef in my skillet here over medium-high heat. I'm gonna add a little bit of onion powder. I will have the recipe that I'm following a little bit linked in the description box, but like with all cooking videos that I share, I do my own thing to it. Just, I know I don't like the smell of cooking ground beef, and I love onion and garlic powder, so I always add those. This is not in the recipe that I found for my inspiration. So I'm just gonna go ahead and brown this ground beef up, and then we're gonna add some yummy extra stuff to it after it's done. In the meanwhile, I do have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. Okay, my ground beef is done. I'm adding in 4 ounce? Yes, 4 ounce can of diced chilies, green diced chilies, and a small onion diced up. I'm gonna mix all these together and just cook for a couple minutes to let the onions soften. Okay, my onions are getting nice and soft. I have half a cup of salsa here I'm adding in. And then I'm going in with 2 tablespoons, actually like a tablespoon and a half, this is pretty potent, of taco seasoning. Just gonna mix this together and then turn the heat off. I have a sheet pan lined with parchment paper. My oven just went off, so it is ready at 350. And then I totally should have had the camera rolling, but I was just following along and moving along with this lunch. So I'm gonna use a total of 4 pie crusts for how much this recipe makes. So I've got my refrigerated pie crust here, and I just cut off the little circle part to make it more of a rectangle, and then I cut it into 6s. So now we're gonna start assembling our taco Pop-Tart. Okay, I'm just gonna spoon. I've got my dough on my pan here. I'm gonna put maybe 2 spoonfuls. That's probably too much. We'll put a little less in the next one. But I've got that, and then I had some Colby Jack cheese sticks that I just cut into 4. So I took 1 stick and I cut it into 4 pieces. And I'm just gonna stick 1 right there. And then I'm going to cover that, pressing down the edges. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest and get my pan filled up. Got my first pie crust done. So I'm gonna do a total of 4. Each box that I bought had 2 in it. So hopefully, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fit them all in this pan, but I've got another pan going in case I need to do it in 2 batches. So I'm just taking my fork and going around the edge. Actually, I'm too close to the wall over here, so I'm gonna have to pull it out a little bit. There we go. And then I'm gonna poke across the top a few times, and that's gonna be my Pop-Tart. I'm gonna go ahead and see how many I can fit on this pan, but like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and use 4 pie crusts total. So here's 1 box, so the 2 pie crusts make 6. I am gonna go ahead and do another pan of this. So this recipe will make 12 total. I'm gonna go ahead and get these into the oven, again, 350 degrees, and I'm gonna bake them for 20 to 25 minutes. All right, taco Pop-Tarts are done. Whipped up some fresh guacamole to have with it, just to kind of like dip our little bites into, but super excited to dig into these. So here's our savory Pop-Tart, but don't go anywhere. I've got 2 sweet ones coming right up. Okay, we are moving on to the second Pop-Tart. This one's going to be a sweet. I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. I'm adding in 1 cup of brown sugar to my bowl here, along with 4 teaspoons of cinnamon and 2 tablespoons of flour. I'm gonna stir these 3 ingredients up, and this is our filling. So we are making good old brown sugar Pop-Tarts. We are going to be making a glaze as well, but that will go on after the Pop-Tarts are done cooking. So I'm just gonna mix this up, get all my brown sugar chunks kind of out of the way there. And then we're also going to be mixing up an egg wash. So I'm gonna do that next. For my egg wash, I've got 2 eggs in a bowl, and I'm going to add in 4 teaspoons of milk. I'm just gonna use a fork and whisk that together, breaking up the eggs. I've got my pie crust here. This one did not want to roll. It was like completely stuck to each other. So I am going, I mean, this is the same thing that I did with the taco Pop-Tarts. I'm just gonna cut that. Sorry, I'm having to hold y'all instead of setting you up. My counter's full here. I've already got my pans out lined with parchment paper, but I'm just cutting off the little sides here so they're easier to put together. We'll keep that on there. And then because it stuck to each other while it rolled out, I just kind of used my finger to mush all the dough back together. Okay, and then I'm just gonna cut it into 6 pieces. So I'm gonna do that off camera because I know I'm gonna mess it up if I try to do this while holding y'all. Okay, so there's my 6 pieces. You could totally make homemade dough also. I will put the recipe that I'm loosely following down in the description box. This recipe that I found made their own dough, but I'm doing the easy route. So with 1 box of 2, I'll get 6 Pop-Tarts because I need both sides. I need 1 on each side. So I get 3 out of 1 roll. I'm gonna do the same thing to the second roll, cut that up, and I'm gonna go ahead and fill this one so you guys can see what we're gonna do to put these brown sugar Pop-Tarts together. With my egg wash, I am going to cover my dough here. So egg wash is on, and then I'm gonna put a pretty big spoonful of the filling in here, just sprinkling it out, not all the way to the edge. All right, then I've got what's gonna be the other, or the top to my Pop-Tart, and I'm doing an egg wash on that as well, but I'm gonna put it on egg wash side down. So I'm gonna flip it. Oh, I had that the wrong way. There we go. And then I'm just gonna use my fork to cinch the edges all the way around. Move this in a little bit so I can go around this side. You can get creative with it if you want to. My kids really don't care. They're just gonna enjoy these. And then I'm gonna poke the top across 3 times. All right, so that's 1 Pop-Tart. I'm gonna get the rest of them made. Okay, my brown sugar Pop-Tarts are ready for the oven. Like I mentioned, it is at 350 degrees. I'm gonna put these in and set the timer for 20 minutes. And just keep an eye on them. Might take a little bit longer, we shall see, but I'm looking for that nice golden brown, semi-crispy top going on to show that they are done. Okay, I just pulled the Pop-Tarts out of the oven, so they are cooling off. I did only leave them in for 20 minutes. I have 3/4 cup powdered sugar in my bowl here. We're gonna make the glaze. I'm adding in about 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, and then 1 tablespoon of milk. And we're gonna mix this together. And I think I'm gonna add, I'm gonna add another tablespoon of milk because that's just not enough. All right. Oh yeah, that's good. So let me get all this mixed together and then we can glaze our Pop-Tarts. I've got my Pop-Tarts here. I'm just going to drizzle the glaze over top, and it'll take a little bit to set, but it will eventually harden up on the Pop-Tarts. All right, you guys, these turned out so good. I cannot believe I've never made homemade Pop-Tarts before. I've already eaten almost a whole one. I picked one of the smaller ones just so I could let you guys know, and tastes just like, I mean, better. I really like the Pillsbury, the pie crust. Tastes just like a brown sugar Pop-Tart that you get in a box from the store. So this was super easy, really delicious, but I do have one more Pop-Tart I'm gonna be sharing with you guys, and it's probably the easiest out of all of them. Third Pop-Tart, I actually already have the first batch done. I'm doing a total of 12 because that's what 2 boxes of 2 crusts gets me. So same thing, this one's probably the easiest. So it's the strawberry. We're gonna do a strawberry Pop-Tart. I already have my third crust, I guess you could say, cut up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my pieces on here, and because it's just strawberry, I mean, you could totally make your own strawberry preserves, jams, whatever, but I just have this Smucker's that I'm using. Like I said, this is the easiest one. I'm just kind of getting a big spoonful and plopping that in the middle, spreading it out just a little bit so it's not as bulky there, like a big glob. So I'm just putting no egg wash on this one or anything. I'm just putting a little bit, like I said, in the middle. I know you guys are kind of further away because of my setup I've got going on here. And then the rest is the same as the previous ones. We're just taking our other piece, putting it on top. Get that done on these 3. And then I'll be making 3 more with that last pie crust that I have. And then I'm gonna go around, actually I can get you closer now because the dough is moved, but then I'm just gonna go around with my fork and move this over, push in the edges. Sorry, it's kind of making noise on top of my stovetop here. So we're just making the edges here and then 3 times on the top, and that's it. I am going to make a glaze for these as well, but temperature is the same. I've got my ovens preheated to 350 and I'm going to bake them for 20 minutes. That seemed to work on the brown sugar ones, so I think it'll be good for these as well. And then, so I'm gonna go ahead and get these finished up into my oven. Like I said, 350, 20 minutes. And then we'll come back after they've cooled for a little bit and whip up the glaze. All right, strawberry Pop-Tarts are done. They definitely made more of a mess, but that's okay. Once I get the glaze on and I get these off of the parchment paper, they'll clean up pretty nice and still taste delicious. So these are done. They've been cooling off for a little bit. Now let's start on the glaze. I have my bowl here with 1 cup of powdered sugar, and I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of milk and just stir that up, and that is it for my glaze. I think 2 tablespoons should be, oops, I am making a mess, should be enough. I'm gonna add a little dash. So like 2 tablespoons and a dash. It really just depends on how you want your glaze. But that is a little too thick for me to drip it over top. That's better. So same thing, the other Pop-Tarts, I'm just gonna drizzle. I mean, you can make it however you want. Little smiley faces, do something cutesy with it. I'm just drizzling it over the top of each Pop-Tart. I've got a little bit left in my bowl, so I'm just going back over them all with a little bit more. But the glaze is totally optional. You could totally have the Pop-Tarts as is without any glaze. The brown cinnamon ones as well. We are gonna add one more thing to these Pop-Tarts though. Then I just have these little red sprinkles. Well, I think technically it says sanding sugar. Yes, sanding sugar. And I'm just gonna, oh, these holes on this thing are massive. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit on each Pop-Tart. These are gonna look so much better when I get them plated. Okay, strawberry Pop-Tarts are done. The glaze only took maybe 20 minutes to set, enough to be able to stack them like this to share with you guys. Just looks better like this than showing it on the pan. But I actually, well, we all have had all 3 of them at this point when you guys are seeing this, but I actually like the brown sugar ones the best out of the 2 sweet ones. So I'll probably make this type again, but I'm thinking maybe we'll try it with Nutella and marshmallow, kind of like a s'mores feel. We could use grape jelly also. I mean, any kind of jelly inside here with just the regular glaze and the color sprinkled to match the inside is awesome. A great idea. So I just wanted to share that because of how easy these are. So anyway, but everybody enjoyed them, but we did like the brown sugar ones better than the strawberry ones. But that is the second sweet Pop-Tart, but the third Pop-Tart recipe that I wanted to share with you guys in this video. Those are the three that I wanted to share with you guys. They were all hits with everybody in the house. I'm thinking for savory, there's lots of ideas for sweet, but for savory, I do want to try, we love the tacos, but I think I want to try Sloppy Joe's also, like Sloppy Joe Pop-Tarts, and then some kind of, I don't know, like cheese and pepperoni, like a Hot Pocket take on, like a homemade Hot Pocket, but looks like a Pop-Tart type of thing. That's what I was thinking while we were eating the taco ones. I was like, okay, what else can I make that's savory in like a taco form, because, or a Pop-Tart form, because the kids definitely enjoy like the fun dishes like that. Just a different take on classic meals. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you are new. Happy December 1st. Pretty sure this is going out on December 1st. And I'm going to attempt, fingers crossed, Vlogmas. I don't know, that's a huge undertaking. I have not done Vlogmas, which is posting every single day. People do it differently, either up to Christmas or the whole month of December. We'll see. It's been a while since I've attempted that. I'm not used to the daily upload anymore, but I've got a list of content ideas. If you guys have any, feel free to leave them in the comment section. But I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.